Hey there, I'm Bruce Ulrich. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this huge walnut sliding barn door with a live edge. I actually installed it in the client's home a little while ago. We were there much longer than we had planned to be, and I wanted to get out of their hair, and so I just decided not to do the intro and outro at their actual house, even though they were cool with it. I'm doing it back at our house. So let me show you how I made it.
I started off with some rough cut walnut that was given to me by the client. This wood came from her grandmother's land in Illinois, and she had it milled up and dried years ago. After I got the boards in the order I wanted, I grabbed my draw knife and removed the bark from the two outside slabs that would keep the live edge. I wanted to keep as much of the live edge look as possible, but not make it overly rusted. I tried to do some flattening using a melamine jig I've used in the past to run through my planer, but these boards were just too long. It was not working well. My friend Brandon lives near me, and I knew he had a router flattening sled, so I took the boards to his shop and he helped me flatten them there. I'll leave a link to Brandon's channel, MADDUX WOODWORKS, below. Go check it out. It made a huge mess in his shop, so I'm thankful that he let me do that. Even his flattening sled wasn't quite long enough to flatten the whole 101 length that I needed. So when I got back to my shop, I had to bring the last little bit down with a hand plane. I started getting one flat edge, and then I could rip the other side at the table saw. This would be for the internal pieces, not the ones that were keeping the live edge. Then I just brought them all to a consistent thickness at the planer. It was back to laying them out after that and getting them ready for glue up. I decided to take this glue up in stages, only trying the first few boards at once. As you can see, I was a little bit too narrow, so I had to add one small strip to the mix. I tried clamping the first section together before realizing my mistake.
It really pays not to be an idiot. So I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get this to go together. There's supposed to be a domino right there. What an idiot I am. Of course it won't go in.
The next day, I started gluing up the rest of the pieces. I decided to try a few more at a time this time. I am using Titebond 2, and there's not much working time with this glue. It was a bit stressful.
That feels good to get those in the clamps. So yesterday I got this panel glued up of that sliding barn door. I had a lot of trouble with it, mistakes and a very stressful glue up, but there's 3 pieces in this one. I just decided my glue was starting to set. I needed to only do that. So tonight I just did all of these other 4 wide panels, and it turned out really good. It was not nearly as stressful as yesterday's. And it looks like I've got a pretty good tight seam on everything. I've got tons of these parallel clamps clamped here, but I'm gonna let that sit tonight and just chill out for a minute because that wore me out.
Now it was time for the final glue up. I had just a couple of long pipe clamps that would work, but when I tried to use 2 of my parallel clamps together, it didn't go very well. I ended up using some ratchet straps that I had, and those worked out just fine. I marked a line on the bottom of the door and used my circular saw and a straight edge to establish one straight end of the door. Then I used a T-square to bring a perpendicular line toward the other end of the door. I used this new line to draw the final top size so that the top and the bottom of the door would be parallel with each other. Then I just trimmed the top of the door straight using the same method as the bottom of the door. I traced out some bow ties by hand using some regular paper. I put the paper over the actual place on the door where I wanted them to be cut. This served two purposes. One was so that I could cut them out and leave them there to send a photo to the client. I wanted to make sure they were good with the positioning. Second was so that I could make sure that the proportions of the bow ties looked good in those places. Then I cut out the bow ties at the bandsaw and refined the edges with my chisels. It was time to secure the bow ties and cut the mortises for them. I'm not going to tell about this process in this video, but if you're interested in the process using CA glue and blue tape, I'll link to another video of mine where I explain it in more detail. I'm using Starbond CA glue here and I really like the stuff. I've got a coupon code and an affiliate link down in the description. You can save 10% if you use the code Bruce A. Ulrich at checkout. I used the router to get rid of most of the waste material. Then I came back with chisels and got the mortises just how they needed to be. I flipped the door over and taped the bottom side wherever I saw a knot. I needed to do some epoxy filling, so this is what was needed. I used a dental syringe to fill the voids with epoxy, and that worked really well.
I thought I was mixing it too thick in this cup, and I let it sit for a little while, and it went exothermic. So it's now proceeding to melt the cup and solidified a bunch of epoxy I was trying to use, and that makes me mad. So don't mix your epoxy too thick.
I glued in all of the bow ties and trimmed them flush. Then there was what felt like forever in sanding. I worked up through the grits to make sure everything was smooth, and I think I ended up at about 220 grit. I turned my attention to the mounting board. The client wanted this to be the color of their trim, so I trimmed the board to size and painted it to match. I inspected all of the hardware in this kit and was really pleased. If you want to get some good hardware for a sliding barn door, I'll leave a link to the kit I used in the description below. I needed to drill the holes for the handle and the metal parts that held the wheels, so I marked those out, started with smaller drill bits, and worked my way up to the larger ones. This ensured that I didn't get much tear out. Oh, and be sure to clamp a board to the underside when you're drilling. That way you don't get blowout on the underside when you're drilling it out. Then it was time for finish. For this one, I'm using Rubio Monocoat. It really turned out beautiful. I used some of this stuff for the first time when I made the live edge walnut desk at Jeremy's shop, and I thought it would be perfect for this application. It goes on really easy, and then you just wipe off any excess you have after a few minutes. Then you just buff it out and it looks great. Now it was time for the install. The holes for the metal pieces to hold the wheels were too small, so I had to ream them out a bit to accept the bolts. We got the backer board mounted to the wall, and the studs on the wall were not cooperating. We had to drill out a couple of holes in the steel rail to make sure they lined up with the studs in the walls. Then it was time to lift the door up onto the rail. This door weighed over 200 pounds and it was a beast. After that, we just had to add the handle, the 2 rubber stoppers, and the floor catch, and this door was done.
I love the way this thing turned out. Thank you so much for checking out this project. It was just a blast to do. This thing pushed my little tools to the max. There were a lot of things that I really had to get creative with to make sure that things were flat and straight. My brother actually came over and rode with me to help me install it, and that thing was a beast. But I love how it turned out. The hardware ended up looking great on the thing, and I'm just really pleased with it, and so was the client. I'd love to know what you think about this video. Did you like the hardware? Would you have done something differently? Leave that in a comment below. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and oh, if you want a sweet Bruce A. Ulrich shirt, go ahead and pick one of those up. I'll have a link to it and everything that I used or mentioned in this video down below in the description. Oh, one more thing. Look at this sweet barrel head that my friend Jeremy Meadows from Meadows Wood Shop sent to me. This is awesome. He engraved my logo in it with his giant laser, and it arrived today. So I just wanted to show that off. Also, if you haven't checked out some of those projects, I'll leave one of them linked on the screen here. But we did multiple projects, some of them around a bourbon barrel or using some of the parts, but definitely go check those videos out. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. I about had to holler at you to wash your head. Look, I went to punch this, my hand slipped off, and the spring went, and it caught it in midair.